recording. We're gonna go live here in 3, 2, 1. What's going on, Brad?
Oh, there's a lot of things in my mind right now. Just
That's the funny part. That's why we're here.
yeah,
4:30 in the morning, doing a little part. We've been talking. We've been trading information.
and
We've been
listening.
growing. Yeah, listening to each other, seeing what's gonna go on and everything else. And folks, if you don't listen, if you don't try to better yourself, try to actually grow, learn something new every single day. Try to heck if you're a parent and try to teach your kids something new every single day. It doesn't matter if they're in school or not. Teach
You're
them
not
something.
living. If you're not trying to
Teach them something new.
Yep, that's our big topic right now. Is our topic is like there's a lot of things going wrong. There's a lot of things that people don't like, but what I feel like people are failing to realize is that it actually can start with us. Us as just low
Parents,
class.
but not just parents, but
Yeah.
society.
Society itself.
I teach. I don't see Jax, Brad's son, that often.
But
but-
it's me.
Well, but not that. But some of the stuff that I've taught Brad or talked to Brad about and everything else, he's taken it into his own life, implemented it. I didn't really show him how to do it, but he listened to what I have done, what I did, and everything else, and he grew on it. I love his watering system and the way he kept animals and stuff out of his garden. That is brilliant. I didn't teach him that, but he took what I said,
Yes.
took it a little bit.
I listened to David.
Took it a step further, and he is teaching his son about this and showing, hey, we don't need to spend all this money for this, and this at the grocery store. We can grow it right here ourselves.
Yep.
Little bit of work. Got to put some work in it
Yep.
because there's nothing, folks. There's nothing. There is nothing
Nothing's
in this
given
world
to you.
is free. If you're getting something for free, somebody somewhere has paid or fronted the bill for what you're getting. Period.
There's a downside to that.
Somebody is paying it. Period.
There's a downside to that because if you get something for free or something's given to you, sometimes you don't totally get the aspect of the learning aspect of it.
Don't take me wrong, Brad. You know me. I'm a big Jew. I love me free shit.
Oh yes, and everybody does, and I'm not saying everybody doesn't appreciate.
Yeah.
the free
but,
shit.
But look what you're getting. Look where it's coming from. Look who's giving it to you. And don't think that shit is free. Shit
It's
is not free.
Mm.
I understand if I get something for free, if it's a drink, if it's food, if it's this,
Anything.
if it's that, somebody has paid for me to get
Yep.
this for free.
Exactly. Yep.
Sometimes it's the fact we pay, like, oh, I go to McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King or Taco Bell, and I get this free coupon because I've done this or spent this or yada yada yada. Well, just remember, you've overspent. Just like I'll use Speedway as an example. Speedy Rewards card.
Yep.
Every seventh beverage is free. Cold or hot, seventh beverage is free. That's fine. Just remember, you've overpaid for 6 of them,
Exactly.
so that company can go ahead and go, here, have a free one, because we've already made enough money off the other 6 that you bought to cover the cost to give you a free one.
Exactly. 'Cause when you're using your Speedy Rewards card, don't forget that that's controlled by Marathon Oil, their pumps, and Marathon Oil is getting their
It's
oil
a subsidiary.
from overseas. I'll let you know right now that
Yeah,
I'm not scared.
Not completely, but partially.
Majority.
Oh,
Majority.
Yeah.
is getting overseas oil, so that's like
Or
so
they're
some
sending
kid.
it overseas to refine it and then send it
Yep.
back to the U.S., which I never understood that.
Yeah.
We can pump it out of the ground in the U.S., put it on a boat, send it across seas, have it refined, and then have it sent back to us cheaper than moving it 10 to 20 miles up the road from where we pump it, refine it right there,
Right.
and distribute it in our
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
That's the sad part about our world economy, folks.
Exactly. There's U.S. soldiers over there fighting, and here's my belief behind it. Nobody has to believe it. I'm not making this like a statement, or don't copyright me on this or nothing like that.
Well, I'm copyrighting you on everything you say, bro.
I feel
my
that
show.
the people that are fighting for some of their lives is a little bit partial of the oil because there's so much over there.
We fight for natural resources around the world,
Yep.
Brad.
And they're taking away, and they're going over there, and people.
Just like Iraq under
Yep.
Saddam Hussein, Iran under.
Yep.
Who?
And people wonder why.
I actually don't know who runs Iran right now. That's scary. I need to look that up. Saudi Arabia under Muammar Gaddafi. Sorry,
Right.
folks. Before he got taken out of power, but these people lived over there. The oil was being Iran and some of the other places where we had a pact to buy oil from them.
Right.
These people didn't work, didn't do nothing. Their government gave them money because of what they were getting for the oil. So these people got money to do nothing because they were giving up their land and resources to another country.
Yep, exactly. And there's other people that suffer by that. People are failing to realize that when something good happens to one person, well, guess what? Something bad happens to another person, and it has to be.
Has to happen.
There's not even like
and it's hard. That was mine. They try to do what they call it's game theory, and it's hard to explain sometimes. But game theory actually has been proven to actually show real life. Game theory is a theory, and it really hard to say because, folks, there are winners and losers. There are winners and losers. I don't care what game you're playing, game of life, game of soccer, game of football. But for some reason, over the last 10 or so plus years, winners and losers have been taken out of what we're teaching children, what we're teaching the youth coming up, that just because you show up, you should be special and get something. Unfortunately, with work, just showing up under unions, you get something and you're rewarded, but that's a bad way to reward work.
Working in a factory, you're just another number. You made a part, correct. But somebody that goes outside the box and creates this part by themselves in their own little shops or whatever, they are getting depreciated because of the fact that they took their
little man, and it costs them more.
And the sad thing is, that person that's working in the shop by themselves, they are striving to be that. That's what they wanted to do in their lives. That's how they wanted to be. A factory life is just you're pumping out 1,000 parts a day, and yes, it is.
You're a
helping.
robot.
Yeah,
That's
you're a robot. You are a number.
But you're a robot that can think and judge and adapt.
Yeah.
And that's the problem they have with a lot of certain jobs. So still,
like
is
here in America,
robot
you get
has a hard time adapting, thinking on its own and stuff like that.
Here in America, you get a 2 weeks vacation after so many years. Like if you're a robot in China, there is no 2 weeks vacation. There is no there's no nothing. It's just that's what your job is.
They got suicide nets, Brad, so you don't jump out the window and kill yourself.
I know, but what I'm saying is like somebody that's making your Nike shoe is like okay, you pay $110 for a brand new pair of Nike shoes.
It costs them $1.20 to make.
Yeah, so the profit is ridiculous. So there's somebody there that's making a ridiculous amount of money, and I am not trying to
cheap labor.
Trust
me, if I could get you guys. Oh wait, you do work for nothing so far.
Yeah,
I am getting Brad to work for nothing right now.
I just want to let everybody know that I work 2 jobs as a single father, and I try to do my best for my child.
I'm working for nothing right now too. I'm actually working for negative because I'm taking the time and the money to put into what we have sitting in front of us, which is a pretty impressive setup if you actually get to see it eventually. But I put money into this, so I'm negative money. I'm not making money. I'd like to. Trust me, we all would like to. I do this for partial, just peace of mind. Just me trying.
He does it for his
trying to spread something and trying to change the way, for some reason, this world has gone, and it makes me sick. Not just
David deserves a satisfaction because of the fact that
not just with cryptocurrencies and everything else. I've been in technology since I was 6, 7 years old. I was around a grandpa and a dad that taught me to do it yourself. Do it
Yes,
yourself because
yes.
back then it was cheaper. You could do an oil change on a car cheaper yourself than having somebody else do it.
Right.
So learn to do that because it saves you money. Learn to do this. Learn to. I learned pulley system. I was probably 7 or 8 years old, helping my grandpa build an ultralight in a basement.
If you make a lot of money because you did it and like yourself and you got dirty and like you did the job that you deserve and you deserve that
but
money,
you know how to do the job.
I appreciate it.
It does. I've
These
worked in
people-
a job. I've worked in a job, Brad. I was a metal fabricator, welding, reading blueprints, and building something from scratch. And my boss could not
Right.
do what I did.
Exactly.
He could not come out and replace me on the
Right.
floor and do what I was doing. And that's a horrible thing. Because I believe if you're going to be the boss of somebody, you should know how to do the job you're in charge of. Period.
Yeah. It's like I know how to weld in so many different ways, and I know how to make something out of welding. And I learned that experience from my father, one-on-one.
Like I said,
Not like
I don't think I've ever met your dad, but I would like to because I think
He's awesome. I love my dad.
Him and me could have some fun just
Yeah.
talking and.
I love my dad. He's he's just a straight edge guy that work is all his life, and he deserves what he put in because he put in a lot of hours, a lot of stress, and everything. But he built so much from his brains by himself that a lot of other people could not do. And yet they could have, but they never put their mindset to it. And he put his mindset to it, and that's what he wanted to do. And now my dad, like anything with metal, that man
And see,
can fabricate.
my dad's kind of the same way because he can do anything with wood.
Right.
And that's
The same aspect,
that's
same thing.
It is. He can, now my training and what I learned was metal. I like it a little bit better because it's a little easier to I cut this wrong.
Right.
I can still get
Yeah.
it to line up if I'm
Yep.
off by a little bit.
Right.
With wood, you off by a little bit,
You're starting all over.
You're fucked. But my dad's good at that. My dad's good at not
Exactly.
being off by that much, measuring it, getting it
Yeah.
precise.
Same with my
and
father. He's
putting it on.
he's a
I mean-
perfectionist.
I mean,
He's
yeah.
everything he does.
You get that perfection with metal, it's gonna look great. It's gonna come out even better. But you do have a leeway.
Right.
You do have a small little
Right.
margin for error when it comes to that. So
And I'll tell you, folks, coming from a father that is a perfectionist, it's very hard as a son
very hard. Like you
because
say, my dad was the same
he
way.
is. That's what he expects is perfection, and when you do not meet these standards, it is hard to connect on a certain level.
And it's perfectionist like everything because my dad, he's retired. I doubt. I'm trying for it, but I doubt I will ever beat his retirement age of 48 years old.
Right.
Yes, folks. My father retired at 48 years old. Why? Because back in his day, at 18 years old, you could go into a factory, get a job. That factory would train you for said jobs, and as you worked, they would promote you through the company for said jobs and train you as they go. Now, you have to at least take 4 years and get some sort of degree to get said same job. Well,
And for my father, he's still working, and like he's working on these heavy trucks that cause a lot, but yet he chose not to go into that factory work, the same thing every day.
And that's because factory work's dying here.
He has a great skill, but this skill is like dying out.
Oh,
So-
welding is still a lost art, and
It is.
because they don't teach it in school. Metal shops
No.
no longer in school.
No,
Wood
yeah.
shops no longer
Yeah.
in school. Band, music, art.
Yeah.
Those are the ones they cut first, but those are the ones that, yes, might not teach you what happened previously or
Right.
anything like that, but they're the ones that are going to give you the most learning, not
Right.
most education when it comes to what real life, real true life
Yep.
is after 18 years old when you're out on your own
Mm.
is all about.
Exactly. My father, he, like I said, like he could build you anything, and like no, is he not? He's not like the teacher of the world. Like he's not gonna teach everybody else.
And it's hard to teach sometimes because I've always
Yeah.
said, and I've had a couple teachers.
Because I fell in love with music.
Teachers in my family, and my one cousin is, her mom was. Other side of the family, I have a couple teachers, and I always joke, and not saying they don't. Teachers deserve a lot of respect for what they do,
No,
because
they do.
not just what they put up with, but what they have to go through and
Yeah.
everything else. I mean, it's hard to teach and make
very
somebody learn, but I've always said teachers are the ones that can't do.
Right.
They can't take their skill and make money and actually make it profitable for them, so they go teach other people to do that skill.
And what my father did for me was he created me into a teacher, because that's where he failed at life. And no, I can't weld you everything, but
I can weld you quite a bit, Brad.
what?
You've never seen my welding skills.
And I can weld very good too. But here's my thing: is what he taught me was he never really taught me things. But now that's my strength. I am good at least. I'm not saying I'm the best teacher in the world, but I am, I think, pretty decent at giving pretty good advice to the next person that needs it. And I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying I'm always right. All I'm saying is that what I've learned over my life, what I've learned over my life is that's my gift, and I love it. I love just being able to use my wisdom. I'm only 29 years old. I'm not old, but yet at the same time,
He's a young buck, folks.
but I already know how to use the wisdom that I've gone through, and I already know how to, like, for instance, my 5-year-old son. I already know how to communicate with him and how we're gonna grow together. And guess what? There's nobody that's gonna take that away from me. I don't care if you say I'm doing it wrong. I don't care what the fuck you say. The thing is
Nobody can ever say you're doing it wrong. Period.
exactly. And so I'm there for my child. I get my child just as much as his mother, and we do our thing. And I'm gonna tell you what, it's my gift. So I'm going to take my gift, and I am going to benefit it as much as possible. And that's what people need to start doing. They need to stop worrying about the things that make them struggle or make them bad. You take those struggles.
Keep going, Brad. I'm getting a beer.
All right. You take those struggles. You take that bad in your life, and you change it. You make your weakness your strength. So whatever your weakness is in life, you focus on that and you make it your strength. And focus on that and make yourself better at that point. And guess what? When there's a little child that comes in your life, trust me, I was the last person in the world that I thought that I could teach and mentor a child. But then Jackson came in my life. That's my son's name. And ever since then, it's just a journey that just like blew up. And I love it. And there's times, yes, I don't like myself. There's times that I feel like I fail. But when that little 5-year-old comes over to my house, the feeling that you get is almost, you can't even explain it. And you don't know where it comes from to give him that guidance, but you got it. And I'm not a smart person. I'm not nothing. But yet, I have.
Oh, you're something, Brad. Don't.
I have that compassion to teach this little guy he's my entire heart in the entire world, and I don't care what anybody else thinks about what I'm doing, because guess what? I believe in what I'm doing, and I'm going to teach him to be a good person, and I'm going to teach him how to be a great man. And
Brad, that's
David, I want you to get the opportunity sometime. I really do. I hope you do. And you will. And you will.
I fed him some bacon when he was younger.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. But when you get the opportunity, you'll see it means something and everything. But I'm gonna tell you right now,
I
though,
hope. That'll be
how I
that.
feel about
I
David.
actually hope here when he's 15, 16, going on 18, actually goes into some sort of agricultural type
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I'm.
I'd feel really proud because I could
Yeah.
say that my words to his father
We are gardening right now.
pushed him into that thing, folks.
The reason why we have a garden is because of David.
Just garden. Grow
Just
your
a little
grow
garden.
your own shit. It doesn't matter how big it is. It doesn't matter what you're producing. Just create something that you can buy at the grocery
Exactly.
store.
Every year we have
that
like
you do buy, and that's the thing. Make it something like I grow okra. It's pretty much a waste, but growing a plant, I mean, I don't consider that a waste. I grow okra. I don't eat it. I don't do nothing.
all I grow is a salsa.
I sell it to people that I know that like okra.
I grow a salsa garden every year. We have 2 tomato plants,
Lettuce.
usually a cherry tomato plant,
I still do 10 tomato plants plus.
and then usually a banana pepper
But
plant
I have the area. You don't. You
and a jalapeno
yeah.
pepper
You do
plant.
1 or 2.
We still have salsa from this year,
Yeah.
and we still have spaghetti sauce
Yep.
that we grew. We don't go to the store and buy spaghetti
I
sauce.
I
We
have
use our
I have
spaghetti.
I have tomato juice from 3 years ago still.
Right.
And guess what
Yeah.
I'm going to do this year? Grow more
Yeah.
tomatoes. You never have enough tomato juice. You never
Yeah.
know. Trust me. If
Yeah.
tomato soup is tomato juice,
And what
folks,
makes me proud
with
is
seasoning. And guess what? If you need something to eat, you need something. I can take one of my jars of tomato juice, put it in a pan, thicken it up a little bit by cooking off some of the water, and eating it. And guess what? Nutrition, some sort of intake. I mean, and this is
And what
stuff.
makes me proud is my-
people say prepper and this, that, and everything else. It's not. I don't want to say prepper, but in doomsdayer, I just prep for in case shit happens.
what makes me proud is my 5-year-old son will go out in the garden and he'll pick a tomato and like he's the happiest little kid in the world. And then we
Little
go
red
inside
tomato.
and we wash it off and then we cut it up and then we either eat it or we will can it up. But he is already getting that process, and guess what? It's fun. He loves it.
So he likes the whole tomatoes.
Yeah,
Hate them.
he loves it.
I don't. I will not, and I don't. God damn, I'm still working with this mic. I must have got the crappy mic tonight.
He loves it, David. Like,
Which is great. I cannot. My dad can take a tomato, slice it, put some salt on it, and eat it.
I'm sorry. But the thing is,
Ugh.
where you're missing
I'll
out is like
never do that.
his face, his like face, like
He-
how much he
Because
appreciates.
He knows
Yeah, the process that we had to
the
wait.
work, the effort, the
Yep.
time. Because, folks, again, like I came back to, nothing is free. Me growing a garden, yes. The cost on tomatoes, on strawberries, on raspberries, on everything else, I have plummeted to almost next to nothing. I pull in my driveway in the middle of summer and go over to my raspberry bush and pick off raspberries and just pop them in my mouth. Most people pay $3 a quart for these things.
And what it taught him was patience.
I get quarts upon quarts upon quarts. I mean, last year I probably had $40 to $50 worth of just raspberries that I ate myself. Cost me 3 years ago $25.
Off our 2 tomato plants, we probably had 80 tomatoes off each plant.
And see, and
That grew.
that sounds about right because my 10 tomatoes. I mean, but I feed more.
Right.
My mom cans, my grandma cans, my family cans. So,
But my 5-year-old son was out there picking the weeds in our raised garden bed, and like picking the weeds away from it, picking the tomatoes, and like the face that you get,
learning.
Yeah.
Learning how to feed himself.
the expressions that you get off of
Feed
him,
himself.
like when he goes inside, and it's not like, okay, yeah, we went to McDonald's and got a hamburger.
Our school.
He eats it, but when he brings in a tomato, washes it in the sink, we cut it up, and he eats it. Like you can see
Yeah.
the difference. You can see
Well,
the pride of
and
us.
But that's
growing
the thing, Brad. People say, "Why do I grow a garden?" Well, I grow a garden, and I've heard this before, and a lot of people like this statement. I grow a garden because I believe in tomorrow.
Right.
Period. Obviously, if I'm growing a garden, I believe that tomorrow is going to come. This is going to be that, and everything else.
Yeah.
But I grow a garden to help my grocery bill. Now, yes, I got to take time out. I got to take hours out of my day and week to take care of it. And some people look at that and go, "Oh, that's."
But the
time.
feeling you get from it is
But
you
I
gotta
got
look at it that way too.
Well, but here's the thing: most people don't do it because you're taking time out of me. I could be making money, $10, $12 an hour. And I'm thinking, okay, I can prove that doing a garden for a couple hours a week and taking that time that you're watching this show or that show or this and that because you just want to sit down in front of the TV and actually watch this show. Your time there is what you're actually using rather than the time you're getting paid. Because if you're getting paid $10 an hour, well, I can prove that I can make $10 an hour worth of food when I do what I'm doing. So,
but when you put a garden together and you accomplish things, you're not getting paid for it. You're not. You don't get anything out of it if you do not follow through the entire year. The bugs and everything else will eat it, and the pride you get out of it at the end of the year is what's great. And you just got to remember that, like, that's what you're teaching your child is that hard work gets rewarded in the end. And I feel like that's what society is feeling right now, is that everyone expects something given to them just because that their life has been somewhat hard or somewhat down. But guess what? Everybody has their down spot. Everybody has the bullshit. So what you have to look forward
ups
to,
and downs in life is normal.
The only way that you are going to succeed in life is that if you take the things that you can build on and become better at, like a small garden. I didn't grow a garden big enough for 500 people. I grew a garden enough for me and my family. And that's all. And the pride that you get in it afterwards, like canning up that spaghetti sauce or canning up that salsa, is like you did all of that. You took care of it that whole year. You, like...
Brad, you don't make pickles because you don't grow cucumbers.
No.
I do.
I wish I could, but I don't have room.
I have the space. So I do my cucumbers and my pickles. I've had people rave over my pickles.
Right.
Why? Because A, I know what I'm doing, and B,
you took care of it every second of the way.
But everything but the vinegar, I grew in my garden.
Exactly.
The dill, the cucumber itself, I picked it
and
at
that
the
makes
right
you
time
proud
before.
Of that.
Yeah, the mustard seed, I grow it just so I have it. Certain spices I'm going to go buy because, you know what, it's cheaper to buy it than for me to grow it because the area we live in, I can't grow it. It's not actually able for me to grow because it needs more of a tropical type environment. We don't have it, and I don't grow inside. So I grow some things inside, but not some of it. So obviously I have to buy some stuff, but it's cheaper for me to buy it than it is to grow it because of what's required to grow it. But I do this, and I've made these pickles, and I canned them, and I've gone to our fair, and I've entered my canning and my tomato juice and stuff. I've been actually the some of the youngest in our actual canning and everything else class at our fair, and I've had these older generation of people that are doing this, that are entering and stuff like that, commend me because the young people don't do it. The younger generations don't take the time to understand what they're getting for granted. Most of them are like, oh, I can walk into Walmart, I can walk into Meijer, I can walk into Kroger, I can walk into Dollar General, I can walk into Family Dollar, I can walk into this store, and buy it because somebody else did it for me. Well, what if those shelves were bare and you don't have the option to walk in and purchase it? what if for out of nowhere, all this what we take for granted, internet and everything else, because go back to Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies that I'm in, people. I mean, people that don't understand obviously want to try to fight against it. There are some that want to learn about it and understand it. But for the most part, I don't understand it. Therefore, it's bad. Therefore, I need to hate, to degrade. It's not good. It's not this. It's not that. It can't be good for people, and I gotta hate it. So I gotta come up with reasons why it's no good. It it's used for drug and illicit activities. Well, folks, to let you know, out of all the currencies and cryptocurrencies and any form of barter out there, the U.S. dollar is used for more illicit shit than anything else that we've created so far. But
The U.S. dollar has corrupted America.
But they're. Thanks, Brad. It's destroyed America.
Destroyed us like no other.
But I'm saying these young kids take for granted the fact that what if Walmart and Myers and Kroger's and are not there? Where are they going to get this shit? Where are they going to get their food? Where are they going to get their next meal? I know where I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it for what I stored up, what I saved, what I have. It might not be meat. I might have to resort to some sort of vegetable diet for a short period of time. I mean, I can go get meat. I can go hunt a deer. I can go catch a squirrel. I can go take a raccoon. I mean, in a certain scenario, if I'm that hungry, I'm gonna fucking eat it. But
that's what I want to do. I just want to depend on myself and live by myself off the resources of the Mother Nature that I was.
Like I told you, it takes work, though, Brad.
Yeah, it takes time.
Work. I mean, you can't. I mean, a neighbor of mine has chickens, so he has eggs.
Right, and that's how I get eggs at work.
I get eggs from him.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Double the price of what I can go into Kroger's and get them.
At work,
but I'll take his eggs over the Kroger's eggs because his eggs, I know where they came from, I know where they're at, and I know there's no chemicals used on those eggs. Now, do I have a health risk? Do I have a I don't want to say a health risk? Do I have a obligation to myself to understand the risk of doing this? Well, yeah.
I get eggs
but
off a guy at work.
I also know the health. I also know the health benefits of doing this. Also,
right.
I can't go out and buy a raw gallon of milk. I really wish I could. I could do well, but not just that. But raw gallon of milk, I can do so much more with than a 2% diluted gallon or even whole milk that's sold at the grocery store. Yeah. I can create so much more stuff. Right. I can do so much more with it, but it's illegal.
I get eggs off a guy at work.
That's just doesn't make any sense.
That has his own chickens.
And that it's illegal for me to buy milk right out of a cow.
My only payment is I have to bring the egg carton back to him. So he has chickens at home.
So he gives you an egg carton. You pay him a certain amount.
I don't even pay him. I don't even give him money. All I have to do is bring that egg carton back. If I bring that egg carton back, he gives me another dozen.
Brad,
and that's how I go.
But what's funny is, Brad, we were talking about nothing's for free. And nothing's not for free. You're getting something for free.
But I'm still working for it. And
this guy, puts a stipulation on it. You must bring me back my carton.
Mm-hmm. That's all.
That's actually not a bad stipulation. And he's giving you excess of what he has for free. Yeah. He's being a kind soul. He's doing the work, and he's not doing the work. He fronted the work.
Oh, yes.
Chickens are doing the work, and now he has all these eggs.
Mm-hmm.
obviously he can't A, sell them because he's not a big corporation,
Mm.
and B, he has so many that they're going to go to waste.
Exactly.
So he's nice enough to,
Yeah.
to hand them out to people
Yeah.
that need them or want them.
So what I'm getting is like what he would have been throwing away.
Mm-hmm.
So but in exchange,
Which, trust me, we as Americans and as the world, we throw away a lot of shit. Now, yes, some countries are better than the others. Europe is pretty good at the recycling and not throwing away. U.S. is the worst at waste.
but in exchange,
At
you know what he
waste.
tells me all the time? In exchange, he always tells me all the time. He's like, "You're the hardest worker around here." He says, "You're always working your ass off." He says, "You have a 5-year-old child. You're being a single father. You're trying and everything." And that's right there why he doesn't charge me. And so he sees
and
the
I love that because he's helping you out.
exactly.
To him, those eggs are, I don't want to say worthless, but they're
No.
worthless.
Mm.
He has no, like we talked about earlier when we weren't on air.
Mm.
When you trade something for something, you value more what you're getting than what you're giving up.
Exactly, yeah.
So I'm selling you a can of beer for $1. I value that dollar more than I value
Exactly,
that can
yep.
of beer. And that's what he's done. He has no value on these eggs. He sees these eggs as waste because they're going to go to waste if he doesn't do something with them. So he's being nice enough to spread that extra out to those that could use it so they don't go to waste.
Right.
So it gets used. So
Yeah.
it helps somebody
Yeah.
out.
By doing so, though, he also lets you know that he takes pride in what you're doing. He lets you know that how hard you're working. Like, it's not like that he just gives them to you. He
Oh, yeah.
also gives you a reason to keep getting those for free because of the fact that he lets you know that he's like, I'm proud of you for being a 29-year-old that's working your ass off and doing what you gotta do to survive. And he sees
That's
that
impressive. I mean,
and lets
that's
me
the
know
thing.
that, and that makes you feel good. That makes you feel good because there's not a lot of people that see that.
No.
There's a lot of people that don't say anything about it, and I don't want to be people to say anything about it. That's just my work ethic. I work 2 jobs to keep me and my boy's life at what it is. It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing special.
No,
But to me,
Brad,
it's a lot.
But Brad, you have a roof over your head. You
That's
have
right.
electricity and heat, and you have food on the table.
That's right.
At that point, I mean, there's people out there that are trying to push for that, and sometimes they keep themselves in that situation. Sometimes the government helps them stay in that situation.
I could have left him at when he was born, but I was there since day one, and I chose
much.
that. And I tell you what, I feel bad for the people that do leave their kids because you're missing out on a spectacular learning slash it's just awesome. It's just you can't really explain it to people because it's like your own experience. But at the same time, like when your child comes up to you and he tells you like, "Daddy, you're the greatest," or whatever, like that. There's just
and that's
moments
that's the thing. Right now, Brad,
and you will, David.
can't-
You're a good person.
I'm speechless because I can't say anything because again, comes back to supposedly by what I've been told by people over the last few years, I can't have an opinion on a subject because I don't have a child.
Right.
Bullshit.
But don't.
Motherfucking bullshit. I can have an opinion. I can have an idea on this is the scenario. This is what I would or would not do. Until I'm in that situation, yes, I'm not going to know what the fuck I'm going to do.
Yeah, you don't
But
know.
I can make an idea. I can already start planning. I can see what my friends do, what they do, what this does, and everything else, and I can make a guess on what I should do or could do or need to do in that situation.
And what I'll tell you right now, David, is you're a great person. I love you as a friend. I really do.
I'm a horrible
Yeah.
asshole as Jew.
No, sometimes
German,
you can be.
German motherfucker that.
But you're a friend that I can tell you that you're an asshole, and you don't take it like that we're never gonna be friends again. Like if I tell you that you're an asshole, you take it.
What's
how
funny
it
is a stranger could tell me I'm an asshole.
Exactly.
And I think it was keep talking, Brad.
And people need more friends like that. It's because like if you are a friend to a person, you have to tell them the truth, what you think about them. Like, you cannot lie to them. You cannot fabricate of what you think of them. To be a friend, to be a good friend, I'm saying as a good friend, you have to tell them exactly what you think. And sometimes it might be hard, but that's how it is.
You didn't keep talking, Brad.
I was.
Keep talking.
No, I was.
Still
I
alive.
was. Hey, we
We're
could take a
always
break
still
for a
alive.
sec.
Yeah,
I was still alive. I was
we're on a
saying
break right now.
what I was saying
No,
about
we're
a
gonna
good.
take a break. We're gonna end the night. We've been on here for Brad. We've been going for 40 minutes so far. So let me see that. Let's smoke a cigarette and we're gonna.
Yep.
No. Let me see that. We're gonna talk.
All right, keep going. But no, that's how a good friend is. You have to
Well-
tell them the truth. You have to let them know how you truly feel. And you're not a good friend if you don't.
Well,
And
that's
if you
the
don't,
thing.
If you
And,
lie to them and tell them.
and that's the
that-
thing. If you're afraid of hurting somebody's feelings, as an asshole, as somebody that is very strict on my beliefs and everything else, fuck your feelings. Because sometimes the truth hurts and it needs to be told. And unfortunately, with the generations coming up right now, heaven forbid you tell the truth or tell them something that's truthful that might hurt them, because their feelings might get hurt and they might feel bad, and that has a problem on their life. No, fuck you. You need to know this.
No, very true.
I'll tell you,
Very true.
I ran into a guy that I worked with that would dish it out, would joke here, joke there, love to pick on people, could dish it out. But when it came to you getting one on him, he turned into an asshole, turned into,
Can't
fuck,
do that.
fuck
Can't do
this, fuck that. No, dude. If you could dish it out like that, you should be able to take it. Period. And I can take it. Trust me, folks. Prove me wrong. Call me up. Talk to me. Try to motherfuck me. I'm gonna teach you very quickly that you don't know me, so you're gonna have a hard time motherfucking me or coming up with something that I'm not gonna just rip you fucking apart. But B, I grew up in the mid 90s, early 90s chat rooms where we used to verbally type shit towards each other. I ripped a kid apart. And basically blatantly, and I didn't give a shit, told him that his mother should die, his father should die, this, that, and everything else over what at that point was social media, chat rooms at AOL and this, that, and everything else. This started this whole era. I've hacked and still hack, still stay ahead of the curve. Technology is going to be the doomsday device if we don't learn how to, I don't want to say control it more, but don't let it control us more. Cell phones, internet, social media controls so many people now.
Yeah. Don't let that social media bullshit get to you. Like, don't.
Well, but it's not just that, Brad. Our phones, our technology, our computers, our this, our that, our TVs, our watching has controlled us, has taken control of your life. You go to work, you come home, and either sit in front of a TV, or sit in front of a computer, or sit in front of a game, and do it all over again the next day, and do it all over again the next day, and do it all over again the next day. It just controls your life. I see the news here. Oh, that must be true. Most of the news, the media is feeding you, mainstream, MSNBC, CBS, NBC, Fox. Don't give a shit what it is. Hell, some of the alt media. Take it with a grain of salt. Research the topic for yourself. Understand where and what is being reported. Don't take, well, this guy did this and he was this, so these people are bad. I think I just broke down any media source when it comes to reporting anything. Bullshit.
No, you're exactly right.
I mean, I'm going to throw out facts. I'm going to throw out issues. I'm going to throw out my own knowledge. And guess what? Most of the time, I love debating, arguing, debating. Not arguing, debating. There is a difference. Arguments, people just yell back and forth. Debating, people actually talk, throw out facts and figures and numbers and info.
You have to listen.
And then the other side gets to do the same and rebuttal and talk about and do their side while you listen. Because if we can't do this as a society, we can't grow. If we just go, well, no, you're wrong, fuck your facts, fuck what you know, fuck everything else, it's my way or nothing.
We will fail.
You're going to fail because my way, A, might be right. I like being right. Brad's already said this. I do like being right.
Yes, he does like being right. He's not always right.
No, I'm
but
not. I'm
having a strong opinion about
60 or
things.
70% of the time, I'll take over 50% any day. But having a strong opinion, I can throw out facts. Now, if you prove me wrong, I'm going to go, okay, you prove me wrong. I understand where you're coming from, yada, yada, yada. But if you can just sit there and motherfuck and go, oh, you're retarded, you're gay, yada, 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 and not actually prove anything about what I'm saying, you're not proving me wrong. You're proving me right, and that you're an idiot and have no way of actually persuading or delivering facts, figures, numbers. No, am I not going to? I mean, half the stuff I see, I see stuff on Facebook and go, okay, I take that information, I put it into Google, and I research the websites that come up. I put it into Ask Jeeves. There's a website people don't actually hear about anymore. Guess what? It's still running. It's still working. Go use it.
What people are failing to realize is that there's more of us as a society than there is the government that everyone bitches about that controls us. They only control us because of the fact that we let them control us.
And that's why I don't let the government protect me.
And I don't let the government control me. I do what I need to do in my life. I'm not.
Well, I'll put this out there right now on Twitch.tv. Fuck my name. If you don't know my name, you can learn it. I'm not reporting my cryptocurrency bullshit. Fuck you guys. Fuck the IRS. Fuck them. They want their cut. Fuck them. They don't deserve their cut. They've destroyed. They gave me the reason. They're the reason. The IRS and the central banks and the Federal Reserve is the reason why I was drove to cryptocurrency when I first got into it. Why I was drove to something else that wasn't controlled, that wasn't regulated, that wasn't taxed. They're the reason, because they took the money that I grew up on, that I was told is great, superior, wonderful, you need to work for it and everything else, and destroy it.
You need to remember that you need to beat them from the inside out. So what you need to do is become smarter than they are. Like you need to, when I say beat them from the inside out, is what I'm saying is like you almost have to become what they are to learn their ways.
Well, pretty much. That's why that's why I'm my own bank now, Brad.
Use their flaws against them. Learn their flaws. Use that against them, and then that's how you beat them. And us as a society, we're failing because of the fact that we are just falling into what they want.
And here's the problem too. Okay, nowadays, you go against the government, you go against the corporations, you go against the military.
You end up like John Lennon and dead.
No, well, yes, but
to a point, you do when you get so far.
But what I was gonna say is, you end up like Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes, you can, and that's how Martin Luther King
JFK
Jr. like reached out. JFK is another big
JFK is the perfect
example
because he had ideas for freedom, just like what our founding fathers were fighting for. If we take what's going on now in 2018 and move it back to 1760, 1765, 10 years before we became a country, our founding fathers would be labeled as terrorists.
Yep.
Our founding fathers, the ones that fought, died, that pushed for this idea of true freedom, are labeled terrorists. Why I want to take what they did and try to push it, knowing that my label is going to be a terrorist, because I'm going against the establishment. I'm going against what has been created, and it needs to happen. It truly needs to happen, folks. It needs to come down to, we need 1776 to happen again, where a group of people say fuck you to the establishment. Now, luckily, they were across the big old pond, and it took many, many, many days and weeks and months to get across. And the queen couldn't control the colonies because they couldn't control the colonies.
Nowadays, in like 2 days, they'll find you. Like,
that's the thing.
So, okay, yes, it's going to be hard to establish something like that, but it is possible. There is a possibility. And people give up on the possibility.
Well, because they feel that they're already defeated from the get-go.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we can't do this because they're too big. They're going to find us. They're going to do it. Folks, I've been trying to do this lifestyle for years now. It is the hardest lifestyle to live. You get motherfucked. You get hated. You get frowned down upon. Everything else, when you come back, bro, we're going to end this. You get frowned down upon. It's just, it's sad, and I love who I am. I love it. I'm an asshole. I'll tell you how it is. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I'll be your friend. We'll talk. We'll probably have a good time. We'll probably share some ideas and actually have a very, very, very good conversation, and very, very productive conversations about certain items and subjects and everything else. But I'm an asshole, because I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I ain't gonna help you sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it at all. I am literally gonna tell you how it is and how it's gonna be. So we going on an hour here. Did Brad leave me? Brad, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come in here real quick. Push it open. It's gonna come. God damn it! I'm sitting here in front of a camera. I'm trying to keep this thing going. Be done. We're gonna say goodnight, Brad. We've been doing this for an hour. We're gonna save this and get going. And
good night,
folks. This is what we are. Everyone. Yeah, this is what we are. This is what we do. This is the way 2018 is gonna be for Black Swamp Media, DB Entertainment. Call the phone number when we're live. Let's talk. Let's actually shoot down some of